Yo, we're back. I hope you guys find value in these videos. I hope I'm not just yapping for my own delight. I hope it's worthwhile for you guys. And, you know, you can use some of this stuff, you know what I'm saying? But today we're going to talk about how you are looked at as crazy for investing in Bitcoin by both extremes of the spectrum of investments, right? So, you know, it's no secret in the traditional world, the people who love banks, the people who love stocks and Forex trading and, you know, the investment classes of yesteryear, you know, the people who love that stuff, you say you're investing in Bitcoin and they're like, oh my gosh, you're crazy. What are you doing that for? Even though, you know, your percentage gains, you know what I mean? Like 300% year to date, you know what I mean? 300-something% year to date. Like, you know, stop. And that's Bitcoin. You know, if you go to Ethereum, like, Jesus, you know, you're talking about like almost a 10x year to date. You know what I'm saying? 1,000%. Those are the top two largest assets in the class. You know what I mean? So traditional world, you know, they're like 15%, yay, 30%. Oh my gosh, in a year, it's amazing. You know, and they scoff at people who are investing in Bitcoin because of whatever, you know, like whatever reason that they have, they just don't believe in it, right? And they think that because it's intangible, that's why it's not valuable. And we went over the video posted yesterday that I shot a few days ago, why digital scarcity is a thing, right? And that you should, you know, you should really, you should think about it, okay? It's just if you have any doubts about value propositions for digital assets that are unique and scarce and verifiably, you know, what do you call it, accounted for, you know what I'm saying? Then take a look at that video. Anyway, whatever thing that they say about why you're crazy for investing in Bitcoin, a lot of it is just noise. It is, you know, people who don't understand Bitcoin and don't understand the technology of Bitcoin, or have a very shallow understanding. Like, this is the other thing, right? There's a lot of people who know enough to maybe hold a conversation with somebody who doesn't know anything, right? And can barely eke out an argument with somebody who really knows about crypto, but their knowledge of crypto is like really, really shallow, and they've taken a position with a very shallow knowledge base. And so they think about it, you know, in this kind of way, where you're crazy or you're dumb or whatever for investing in Bitcoin, right? That's one extreme. You're not going to believe this. If you're coming from that end, you're not going to believe this. All right, look, man. The younger investors, you know, and when I say younger, you know, I'm not talking about like 18, 19, 20, but those guys too, but the folks that are, you know, 24, 25, 28, you know, these investors, and I call them investors, and if you've seen their portfolio, bruh, you'd think you'd be like, oh yeah, you an investor, you an investor. These cats are looking at me crazy because I invest in Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Like they're doing, you know, 400% pump and dumps in some rando DeFi project. You know what I mean? Like they're holding some of the more obscure coins, even some top cap coins, you know, Solana and Cardano and DOT and all these other stuff. You know what I mean? Like they're holding that too, but they're also in like the top 300 ranked coins, the top 500 ranked coins, like coins you just never heard of. And they're getting gains, you know what I'm saying? And they're looking at me like, Bitcoin, you're crazy. What are you making, like 30% on a week? You know what I mean? What are you doing, 100% in a year? You know what I mean? I'd slit my throat if it was 100% in a year. You know? So that's how some of these guys roll, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, there's two extreme worlds, believe it or not. You know what I mean? There's two extreme worlds where you have a group of people who are very, very, very late to the game. And not to say like if they got in now, they'd be early, but there's so much ground that they have to cover mentally to give credence to the concept of Bitcoin that by the time they get in, it'll be really late to the game. And then you got folks who are, I mean, you know, first mover advantage type folks who are capitalizing hard, playing, you know, real hard, you know, big risk, but also big reward too, if you do it right, you know. And investing, it's a lot like, you know, anything you do, the more practice you have, the better you get at it. Some people are playing, like me, I'd rather play a bit more conservative of a game and play with larger cap coins first and then dabble in some of the smaller cap joints. And I think that's a conservative play. And most of the conversation I have is about how crazy I am. And I'm aping into Bitcoin all wild. You know what I mean? And then you have the other spectrum of guys and girls that are like murdering it, playing a much higher risk game, you know, but also getting good at it. And so I wanted to, like, you know, make you guys, you know, make you guys privy to the different, you know, both ends of the spectrum here, right? Like I give you my perspective, but I always want to put my perspective in context. And I say all the time, like I'm an extreme example, right? I always say that I'm an extreme example. You know, people ask me how much of a coin should I buy, how much of my, you know, portfolio should be crypto. You know, you're talking to somebody who's like 99% of my life savings, you know what I mean? Like, you name it, is crypto. You know what I mean? But I'm up. But I'm up. So, you know, but majority of the savings that I put away, I throw it into crypto. You know? But I'm extreme, right? So when you ask me my opinion, I let you know, like, this is who you're asking, and this is what I say. And I think that it's important for all of us to recognize, you know, our position, our perspective within the context of perspectives. And it's going to take somebody, you know, informing themselves in order to be able to do that. You have to know what the, you know, more conservative or the extreme conservative spectrum looks like. And don't get caught up in the mentality or the approach to investing that says that the conservative, you know, approach is the smartest one. It's not. It's not. You can play it too safe, so safe that it's illogical, you know what I mean, for you to play it that safe, or so safe that you're just dumb, like you're just playing the dumb thing, you know, for what reason, you know what I mean? And a lot of it rests on people who are, you know, just following basic concepts and, you know, basic, even just like quotes and sayings about, you know, investing in general. And look, I haven't been investing that long, you know what I'm saying? I haven't been investing that long, but I try to study as much as I can, and I try to be open-minded to, you know, the different ways of investing. Some people, like, I had a buddy of mine, he reached out to me about, you know, he sells options. And he's telling me by selling options, and selling options is where you create a contract or you purchase a contract, you know, that it's like a bet with somebody that, you know, you believe that the price of a stock is going to stay within a certain range or move into a certain range, you know, at some point in the future. You know, there's a date to that contract. And if you're right, that person who made the agreement with you buys your contract. If you're wrong, you buy the stock that you were wrong about. And, you know, I don't think that, well, he was telling me that he has, it's a foolproof system, like you're guaranteed to make money, and he's making good money right now, you know, according to when I last talked to him, which was like a month ago, right? He's making good money, you know, he's making like maybe $5 or $6 grand a week, right? Which is great. And he said, but he's telling me that it's foolproof. You know, you're always going to make money, and I know how options work. And I was like, you know, it's not really foolproof. There's a way for you to lose money. You know, he's saying the downfall is he could have made more money and he doesn't. You know, whatever. But you know, so I say that to say, you know, like, to me, that was like a risky strategy to me. The Bitcoin, the 95%, I hold 99% of my savings in Bitcoin. Now, you know what I mean? To me, that was a little risky, right? And, you know, and for him, that was, you know, he's making the money. I can't say that he's not making the money, you know, but for me, like, it's not just about making money, or else I'd just play all these rando DeFi projects all the time, right? But I don't, because it's not just about making the money. Like, there's a risk tolerance that I have, you know, that I want to, you know, play a certain, you know, strategy that is going to be, for me, produce enough upside to make it worth it, right? And in a way that has not the least amount of risk, but the risk versus reward, or risk tolerance, or even, what do you call it? The risk, something ratio, whatever, not risk reward, but it's like, I forgot, but it's like the amount of risk, the probability of risk of you going down versus the probability of reward that, you know, of it going up. You know, I'm playing in that range where it's tolerable for me, right? But, you know, on one end of the spectrum, they're looking at me like I'm stupid, and on another end of the spectrum, they're looking at me like I'm stupid. And the reason why I'm even saying all this is because I think that, like Anthony Pompliano was saying, that's a good place to be, right? If you wanted to be, you know, somewhat conservative, right? If you look at it from a traditional, you know, background in investing, my position looks very extreme. If you look at it from the more radical position of investing, my position looks very conservative. And so, you know, when I look at it in the totality of the spectrum of investing, man, it's actually a really good spot to be in. At least that's how I'm looking at it. You know, I could be wrong. So, you know, that's my 2 cents. That's the end of the video. You know what I mean? That's all I wanted to say. Think about your strategy. Is your strategy conservative? Is it radical? Is it illogical? Are you making money with it now? You know, or is your plan to, you know, make money at a later date? You know, and you have enough patience to wait. And I think that, you know, for me, I have the patience to be able to wait for the investments to mature. Like, that's how I play it. And I would recommend folks to play it like that. But man, if you are, you know, trying to get it, you know what I'm saying? By all means, like, there's ways to do it. There's a ton of things going on that allow you to do that. You just got to do the research. All right. And, you know, you don't have to stay in crypto either. Like, there's a lot of ways to invest in a lot of different things. It's just, for me, like, for the buy and hold strategy, for me, crypto is like where it's at, you know, like, you know, I don't have to wait that long to reap the benefits of it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, that's my 2 cents. Hope it was worth it. Hope I didn't waste your time. Hope you found value in this. And, yeah, man, holla at me if you got any questions. Love you. All right, peace.